So let's talk about active and passive, right? Sentences always take a subject and a verb, right? So to have a sentence, you need a subject and a verb. For example, I can say that I can say, right? And there's a sentence, the subject is I, and then we have a modal verb can and a lexical verb say. I can say things. Things is an object, right? In this sentence. Why an object? Because it's not the subject. An object is something that receives the action of the subject, right? Look at this example. If I say, for example, that I eat ice cream in summer, the subject is I, the verb is eat, and ice cream is the object that receives my eating. This sentence is active because the subject, I, is the one who does the action, right? Action, active, connection, right? All right, so if the subject is the one that does the action, it's an active sentence. But many times the subject doesn't do the action. The subject receives passively the action, right? So for example, I can say ice creams are eaten by me every summer. Wow, I'm an ice cream eater, right? Or you can say that the Chinese make a lot of cars. So cars are made. Notice that the second one, cars are made, is passive because the cars don't do the action. They receive the action of the company. Yes, the factory producing these cars, right? So when you change the subject and the subject receives the action, doesn't do the action, we have a passive sentence. Passive doesn't mean past. It can be for the future. For example, imagine this example: a cure for or a vaccine for coronavirus. Apparently, we don't know, but a vaccine for coronavirus has been discovered. So the vaccine hasn't done the action. The vaccine has received the action of a group of scientists who really discovered or have discovered the vaccine. If I say a group of scientists in X country, I don't know, Russia, China, United Kingdom, or whatever, a group of scientists have discovered, that is active. They have done the action, yes? Have discovered the vaccine. But if I say the vaccine has been discovered, the vaccine received the action of discovery, yeah? And you can put it in the present, in the past. Imagine this: a cure for cancer will be discovered. This is future, yes? Notice that in all these examples, the subject receives the action. And we need the auxiliary. The verb to be is the auxiliary. Because it will be discovered, has been discovered, was discovered, are made, whatever, right? Yes? So this is the idea. Normally we have, when we have an object that is scientists have discovered the vaccine, that's the object, we can make a change and put the vaccine as a new subject, and that subject is passive. Sometimes we don't know, or it's not important who did the action, or it's obvious. For example, imagine a very important criminal from many years ago, maybe Mr. Pablo Escobar, do you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What piece of news creates or makes a bigger impact? If I say the police arrested Pablo Escobar, or Pablo Escobar was arrested?
Pablo Escobar was arrested.
Yeah, because you start the news with Pablo Escobar, and people say, oh, something about Pablo Escobar, and it's obvious that who arrests people? The police, not my mother-in-law, right? So the police arrested, yes, it's obvious. Who else, right? So it's better impact to say Pablo Escobar was arrested, or Pablo Escobar arrested, right? Simplifying the thing to create an impact in the news, right? So this is really very, very, very common, right? Every time you see this sign "Made in China," it means that the product has been made in China. So it's a passive voice, right? Okay. This is the traditional way of passive, right? So you say, My parents gave me a bike. Well, a bike was given to me by my parents, right? Okay. But let's complicate things a little. Let's complicate things a little. Imagine that in this same example of the bike, yes, and this is true. When I turned 7, it was my birthday, and I turned 7 years old. I received a bike. So my parents gave me a bike, right? Notice that my parents is an active subject, right? Because they did it. They did the action. You always have to ask yourself, who are they doing the action? Yes, they did the action, right? Janice, for example, is climbing the curtains. She's doing the action. Oh my goodness. Janice, my parents gave me a bike. What is the object? What is the verb? The verb is
Give.
gave, no? My parents gave me a bike. What is the object?
A bike.
A bike.
Bike.
But a bike is a direct object, right? There is another object that is indirect, that is me. So we have two objects. My parents gave me indirect. What? The object, the thing they gave me is a bike, right? So I can say a bike was given to me. This is a traditional way, but I can always, in English, use this. This is very, very common. I was given a bike by my parents. You can start the passive sentence with the new subject using the indirect object. My parents gave me, so I was given a bike. Careful with that because this is super common and it's different from Spanish. Okay? Now we're gonna practice, but this was an introduction. I'm gonna stop the recording. I hope it helps. Questions available, of course, right? Stopping the recording now.